Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting in a Fan. And good evening, because it is it's not quite 5 p.m. yet, but I'm going to say good evening anyway. So right now the time is approximately 4:55 p.m. Eastern Time, and the date is Thursday, Thursday, February 23rd, 2023. It is the day after Ash Wednesday, which is the day after Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday. The moon is waxing in Aries, and the sun is transiting in Pisces. A whole lot of energy happening today. So, it is my pleasure to announce that we have now gotten to the next suit in the Pride Tarot, a collaborative deck, which was published by US Game Systems in April of 2020, proving that some good things did come out of 2020. And we have the Ace of Wands. So now this is the beginning of the third suit. Major Arcana, Swords, Wands, Cups, and Pentacles. I believe Pentacles are last, or Cups are last. Forgive me. All right, so we have, and of course Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audio-visual person for my YouTube videos, will be doing close-ups. Like now. So first we're going to do a close-up of the beautiful back of the card design. Back of the card design, because why? Because love is love is love. And here is the Ace of Wands, illustrated by Karen Vogel. Now some of you are like, where have I heard that name before? Karen Vogel, along with Vicki Nobel, co-created the Motherpeace Tarot. And I really dig this Ace of Wands. It's really, there's something very dramatic and yet simple about it for me. Okay, so, and this, I believe, was also written in Karen Vogel's words. Oh, I was right. Cups and then Pentacles. Okay, so. Ace of Wands, illustrated by Karen Vogel. This Ace of Wands card signifies a time when you are radiating new energy and delight in being alive. It's one of the reasons I call the Ace of Wands new life energy. Out of this exuberant energy comes a rebirth of your creative spark. You are inspired to manifest in a way that may have felt difficult in the past. Doors open to new possibilities that you are uniquely qualified to pursue, and now is your time to reach for success. In the Northern Hemisphere, well, actually, let me simplify it. In Western astrology, the date of the vernal equinox in the Northern Hemisphere is the first day of the sun's transit in Aries, the sign of new beginnings. I instantly knew, meaning Karen Vogel instantly knew, I wanted to paint this card with the image of a New Mexican whiptail lizard on a spiral wand. And I'm going to have Drake do another close-up of the card. This is the New Mexican whiptail lizard on a spiral wand. Whiptail lizard is an all-female species that reproduces through parthenogenesis, where an ovum becomes an embryo without being fertilized by a sperm. I never knew that. This process is an apt metaphor for the creative spark ignited to start a new endeavor. I'm going to read that again. This process is an apt metaphor for the creative spark ignited to start a new endeavor. The spiral wand is a symbol of DNA in these lesbian lizards, I love that, who engage in same-sex sexual behavior. Lesbian lizards indeed. The background, is the Ghost Ranch, the longtime home and inspiration for Georgia O'Keeffe, a prolific artist with a unique vision. I never knew that. I'm learning something new through the tarot. So let me talk about the Ace of Wands a little bit. So Ace of Wands, as I mentioned a few moments ago, always represents new life energy for me. And of course, it's appropriate that this card corresponds to the date when the sun enters Aries, the sign of new beginnings and the strongest of the fire signs. Now, I have a confession to make. I remember there was somebody who used to be one of my clients. She was a little upset that I had referred to Aries as the strongest of the fire signs. What I did not tell this now former client is that, who was a Leo, by the way, was that when I first learned of the first signs in each of the elements, they were listed as the least evolved. So, based on that book, Aries is the least evolved of the fire signs, whereas Sagittarius is the most evolved. Like Taurus is the least evolved of the earth signs, whereas Capricorn, my sun sign, is the most evolved of the earth signs. And since Capricorn is also the last of the 4 cardinal signs, it's the most evolved cardinal sign, but I digress. So here's the thing about this energy. This is Aries energy, so this really is about new beginnings, new opportunities, opening new doors, launching new projects, exploring new endeavors, and it is appropriate that this is the card that corresponds to the date when the sun enters Aries. In the northern hemisphere, that is the date of the vernal equinox. In the southern hemisphere, that is the date of the of the autumnal equinox. Regardless, this is definitely a card about new beginnings, and of course so appropriate since we are starting a new suit in the Pride Tarot. The other thing that I notice about this card in particular is a lot of the red dust, the red dirt, the red mountain peak. And of course, red is a traditional Aries color, as well as traditionally associated with its ruling planet Mars, which is the ruler of Aries and the co-ruler with Pluto of Scorpio. I'm only going to say one other thing about this card, and that is I never knew there were lesbian lizards. I'm so digging that. So I want to read, now here's the thing, when I was going through the booklet, at first I thought that US Game Systems had forgotten to include Karen Vogel, because it goes from Patrick Valenza to Katrin Wells Stein. And I'm like, that can't be right. So US Game Systems Incorporated inadvertently, accidentally, listed Karen Vogel as Karen Nobel. And I don't mind telling you, I was a bit surprised because Karen Vogel and her co-creator of the Motherpeace Tarot, Vicki Nobel, are 2 of the most well-known names in tarot. And I'm like, oh my goddess, how? I don't know how they did that. But let me go to the page that has the ends. So if you have this deck and you're wondering where Karen Vogel's name is, look under Karen Nobel. She's there. And this is in Ms. Vogel's own words. In 1981, I co-created with Vicki Nobel the Motherpeace Tarot deck, and there are over 350,000 decks in print. This deck has become a fundamental part of the women's spirituality and goddess movements. My training is in anthropology, shamanism, and art. My art is in the medium of wood and stone carving as well as painting. My writing includes the Motherpeace Tarot Guidebook and the novel Coyote Tales. I'm a tarot reader, artist, teacher, rogue scholar, inventive builder, I couldn't make up the word, and tend the Habitat Garden at Ocean Song, located in West Sonoma County, California. The website address is motherpeace.com, and it is the only listing for her with regards to anything internet related. There are no social media listings, but when I before I write the description box for this video, I will see if Karen Vogel, not Karen Noble, can be found on social media. If so, I will link her social media in the description box for this video as well. So once again, I want to thank US Game Systems Incorporated for publishing the Pride Tarot, a collaborative deck. And I absolutely want to thank Karen Vogel for illustrating the Ace of Wands, and for all of the other immensely talented artists who were a part of this collaborative deck. And of course, to all of you in YouTube land, thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do, and for honoring Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, for my YouTube videos and everything he does as well. Thank you so much for all the likes, all the comments, all the shares, and all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And an extra big and beautiful thank you to those of you who have scheduled your sessions. I absolutely look forward to consulting the Oracle or conducting an energy healing treatment for you during your divinely appointed time and date. And of course, just a quick reminder, I will be virtually available for the Moon Serpent and Bone Moon Serpent and Bone 5th Annual Ostara Festival, which is on Friday, March 17th, 2023, from 6 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. It's going to be first come, first serve, so make sure to get your time set aside as soon as possible for that date. And in case you are wondering, I will absolutely be honoring the divinely discounted rates that I offer at the Moon Serpent and Bone markets, which is $30 United States dollars for 15 minutes, and $45 USD for half an hour. And I will include that in the description box. Well, actually, there's already 2 videos about this, and there's one blog post that accompanies both of them, so you have plenty of options to find out the information. But I'm looking forward to being back home and having this lovely opportunity to spend time at home. And as much as I would love to be there, as of right now, nobody else has become unavailable. But if somebody becomes unavailable and I am there in person, I will still absolutely be available for virtual sessions as well. Thank you again to all of you for honoring who I am and what I do, and for honoring Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, and everything he does as well. And absolutely have a beautiful night, have a wonderful weekend, and stay tuned for the next video.